Hello friends, I want to warmly welcome all of you once again to Tech channel. This is another video on cyber security. So this channel is basically dedicated to creating cyber security awareness first, and also whenever I'm able to go through any studies that's related to penetration testing, I love to share it, right? So I share on this platform so that anyone who is also thinking of becoming a penetration tester like I am can also follow this tutorial and also try to learn some skill. So I want to state emphatically that this whatever I do on this channel is basically for educational purposes, just for knowledge share and then for skill acquisition. That's it. Right. For today, this video is basically gonna be focused on Telnet. Telnet as a protocol or a service. So we all know Telnet basically is a network protocol that helps to gain a user to gain a remote access, right, to a system. And then once the remote get access to that system, the user can manipulate the system and do whatever he or she want to do on the system. Basically, Telnet as a service it focuses on the TCP IP networking protocols, right? What we all know when we say TCP, then it means before they can ever be a connection, right? There should be some sort of interaction between the user and then the server, right? So I have my Kali on, and then I have a Metasploitable 2. Yeah, I have that virtual machine also on. So I'm gonna use the Kali as the attacker machine, and then the Metasploitable 2 is gonna be my victim machine. So we want to try to use Kali to access the telnet in the metasploitable machine. Right, so let's get right into it. Just to be sure that my metasploitable 2 machine is on, I want to ping the machine. And so ping -c. So we just need only 4 packets to be transferred to the metasploitable machine. And then I'll enter the IP address of my Metasploitable 2 machine. So great. So the responses we have here basically shows that our Metasploitable 2 machine is live, and so we can go ahead and carry on with our enumeration basically. So it's gonna be we're gonna enumerate it and then try to gain access to the telnet in Metasploitable 2 machine. Right. So now the first thing I would want to do is I have to do a port scanning to be sure that Telnet service is running on the Metasploitable 2 machine. So I want to implement the services of NMAP, network mapping. I can only run my NMAP, port scanning, not always, right? But mostly it's advisable to run it in a super user form or privilege, right? So that's sudo. So sudo nmap. Now I'm just gonna I'm gonna do a sane port scanning, right? So and then basically the next step is gonna be I want to have the version of the various services that are running on the Metasploitable 2 machine. So I have SV that's gonna give me the various version of the services. And then the next thing is gonna be the IP address. So I have it already done. And let's hit enter. So Kali. So I'm gonna wait till we get the response from our output. So basically while we're waiting, I'm gonna use Metasploit, right? That Metasploit 2 to try to enumerate the Telnet service and then see if we can find any form of information in order for us to be able to get access to it. Great. So we have our output from the port scanning. So we can see there are a lot of ports open here. Now, because I added the SV flag to it, that's why I've been able to get the various versions of the services running on um, our Metasploitable 2 machine. Now, we have FTP, we have SSH, so we have Telnet here. That's our focus today. And we can see the Telnet version running on Metasploitable 2 is Linux Telnet, right? So the first thing is we know Telnet is opened and it's live on our victim machine. And so let's just start trying to enumerate it. So as I said, I want to use Metasploit tool, right, to try to enumerate it. So to start Metasploit, I'll just enter Msfconsole. This is gonna start the Metasploit uh, tool in order for us to start using it. Metasploit framework console is actually a very powerful tool that is used in penetration testing. Now, so the first thing is we want to enumerate Telnet. So I have to search the models in Metasploit to see if I can find any exploit or any auxiliary. So I'll throw more light on these terms. So Telnet, right? All right. So these are some of the resources available in the Metasploit models. Now we can see we have exploits. Sometimes we have auxiliaries. So I will try and make a video and explain what an exploit basically means and then auxiliary. But to throw a little light on it, auxiliary model contains certain scripts that helps us to do various action activities like do a port scanning, do like scanning or vulnerability scanning on the system, just to get information on the system. That for the exploit is basically when we want to attack the machine and then get, for example, a metal predator session on the system, right? Or we want to just break into the system. That's when mostly we use exploits. But for this um for this video, we just want to use auxiliary, right? So we want to get information from Metasploitable 2, right? So I want to use this auxiliary, right? So Telnet version. We just need information for now. So let's see what we can find. So in order for me to be able to use that model, I need to enter the keyword use, and then let me paste the good. Great. So that has been activated. Now we have to try to know before we can go ahead and do an enumeration. The first thing is there are some parameters you would need to set up, right? So we do show options, right? So we can see from the output that we have to set up the R host, that's the remote host, and you see it's required, so we cannot bypass that. So what is the remote host? The remote host basically is going to be the IP address of our victim machine. That's the Metasploitable 2. So uh so we use sets and then R host 192.168, sorry, 8.1.7. So that's the IP address of our Metasploitable machine. And then yeah, so we know Telnet from the output here in the port scanning is running on port what 23. So it means that's the default port. That's fine. The username is not required, so we can leave it blank. And threads, right? So my professor, you said that I did explain that in threads we can just increase the threads so that our enumeration can be performed faster. So I'm gonna do set threads and I'm gonna set the threads to like 4. Right. Now, for us to know what we really want to do and so for us to gain much information about what this auxiliary is supposed to do, we just type show info, right? So this basically gives a description of what we want to do. So it says to detect telnet services, basically. And like I explained earlier, auxiliary as a model is going to help us to gain some useful information. And maybe we can get some information we can use in trying to gain access to the system. So as you can see here, I've already set the R hosts. We have the R ports set. We have the thread set to 4. Then we're ready. Okay. So I just hit run. Great. So that was fast. So our enumeration is done. We can see that it tried to connect to the Telnet service and we have some information. Now let's see. When we look here, it says never expose this VM to an untrusted network, and it says log in with MSF admin. So basically, we have something here. We have gold, right? So this is telling us we can access um the Telnet service on our victim machine using this login. Now, how do we try to do it? Let me move from the MSF console and go to this Kali machine. Sorry, Kali yeah, interface, right? The command prompt. So now I'll type telnet and then 192 the IP address of my attacker machine, right? Dot 1.7. Right. So it says trying so we're trying to connect to this. Now it even gives this to us, right? The information we had here, the MSF admin. So we can just use that to log in MSF admin as the username, MSF admin. And we are in. We've successfully connected to the Telnet service. Hooray, right? So we can do help. That's of course the first thing we want to do to know the various commands we'll be able to run as we've connected to this service, right? So we can enter commands like pwd just to print the current working directory. So yeah, it says we are in the MSF admin, right? So we can also go back to the home directory, right? So we have FTP, we have MSF admin, we have service. So these are various uses, right? We can do if config just to be sure we've really connected to our metasploitable system. So if config, yeah, and so we have it here, right? So that means we've successfully been able to basically enumerate the telnet service, and then with the help of Msfconsole, that's Metasploit Console, we've been able to gain some useful information, and that helped us in logging into this account. So basically, that's all this video is supposed to be. That's the focus of the video. Uh, Kindly please subscribe to the channel, like my videos, comment, and then share. Okay, because I know a lot of people want to delve into penetration testing, and yeah, of course there are a lot of resources online, but um yeah, I'm gonna be helpful in trying to break some of the terms for especially newbies who want to delve into this great industry. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Stay safe. Bye.